This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
Hey, what's good, guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we got the performance review on these guys right here. This is the Nike LeBron Soldier 11. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So one of the easiest things for shoe companies to get right is the traction pattern, and unfortunately most of the time these guys are getting it wrong. So while the traction on the Soldier 11 is not bad per se, there was one small area that was, and it was right here underneath the ball of the foot, which is where I place a lot of pressure. For whatever reason, every time I would plant and put any force on that area, I would just skid. Not a complete slip, but it would be like a jolting move to where it would make me hesitate with whatever the heck I was doing, and it would cause some sort of delay. So if I was just going to change directions, or if I was curling over a screen, there would be a slight slip causing some sort of hesitation. To me, I just don't like that. I would prefer something way more consistent. I don't know why herringbone is just not widely used like it used to be. Herringbone is just tried and true. There's nothing wrong with it. So like, please stop doing this. Like this can ruin a shoe, you know what I mean? Is it possible that the rubber compound, because it's translucent, is the culprit? It's definitely possible, but the traction everywhere else on the shoe is actually really good, and it saved that one small area. So while I slip here, especially if I was coming around a screen, it would grip here. So I don't think it was the actual rubber compound. I think it was more so the pattern itself. And I actually witnessed LeBron slipping the same exact way that I did.
James drives on Iguodala, keeps clock dwindling down.
So it's not just me, it actually is an issue with the traction. Now the cushion on these guys, especially compared to last year's Soldier 10, is like way better, even though the setup is pretty much identical. You have heel and forefoot zoom air. I don't know if you can see it, but you might be able to a little bit, but it's like there's one right here. It's kind of like a normal shaped zoom air unit, and then right here there's another normal shaped forefoot bag instead of those little thin rectangles. So it's a nice wide coverage of the area. It goes underneath the entire palm of your forefoot, as well as the entire heel. Not only that, but they're also really thick units. The forefoot itself is 8 millimeters thick, which is pretty damn thick for a zoom air unit in the forefoot. And then the heel is 14 millimeters thick, which is super thick. And then both of those are implemented so that they protrude out just a little bit from the actual outsole slash midsole area. So when you are planting and moving, it's forcing it to really be active. It's kind of like a propulsion system, very similar to what Jordan Brand is doing with their flight speed stuff, except for there's no moderator plate here or anything like that. It's just the foam and the zoom units. So while these guys are not like super bouncy like Zoom Air used to be, it's still way better than what was on last year. They were just packed inside of a really dense, lightweight Phylon midsole with nowhere for these zoom units to expand once pressure was applied. Whereas these guys here, there's a little bit of carving out in between the foam and the zoom unit. So it's really allowing everything to kind of like move freely with one another. I really like it. It's not too bouncy and it's not too firm. This guy right here is just a really good balance of the new style of Zoom Air that they've been implementing, along with some court feel without sacrificing any impact protection. And you can feel it a little bit. It's not crazy bouncy, but you can feel it. Now in terms of materials, there are two different versions of the Soldier 10. This is the basic version that retails for $130, and then there's a premium version that retails for $140. Everything on the shoe is pretty much identical between the two, except for this little rand area right here. On the regular version, which are these guys, they feature a ballistic nylon mesh, so fairly similar to the Air Jordan 11's upper. Whereas on the premium version, they replaced that with premium materials, whether it be nubuck, they might do some leathers, who knows. It's still real early in the retail stage of the shoe, so we haven't seen everything yet. But as of right now, those are the two options. You have ballistic nylon right here, and then you have nubuck. There are also some extra loopholes for the straps on the premium version. It's not a performance feature or anything like that, it's just a design feature. So other than that, the entire upper is made of the same thing. It's this really lightweight, kind of like aired out, open-celled mesh. Feels really great on foot. It adds a lot of ventilation to the shoe, which I do appreciate. It's not something that I think is completely needed, but it's something that is sometimes overlooked. So I like having some sort of ventilation within the shoe. And both versions seem to be pretty durable. These guys have been taking quite a bit of a beating, and there's no fraying or anything yet, so I don't think that these are going to fail on me. Although my swoosh has already fallen off. I don't know how the hell that happened, but whatever. Now these guys do fit true to size. Wide footers, you want to try them on. They're a little bit like tight on the top of the foot, so like right here at the midfoot. So try them on if you're a wide footer just to be safe, but regular size footed people, true to size is the way to go. There is some volume right here in the toe. I did not like that at first. I was hoping that the materials would break in, which they do. So there's just like a little bubble above my foot. Luckily, this strap right here, you're able to really cinch it down so that it kind of keeps that forefoot area from feeling like there's volume above it. And then speaking of the straps, the lockdown was good. Like I said, that forefoot strap really helped kind of like cancel out that volume. And then these other 3 straps I think are great. The Soldier 10 offered 3 straps. These guys split them up amongst 4. It allows the areas to be isolated in terms of lockdown. So you have the forefoot as one area, and then 2 sections for the midfoot, which I think is great. And then you have this last one up here, and that's just to secure the ankle. It didn't really feel like it needed to be there. Honestly, I thought that these 3 were perfect, but it's there so you can make it as tight or as loose as you want, and you should be good to go. Now, another area that has been slightly modified in addition to the cushion from last year's model is the support. The platform that these guys sit on, or the tooling, is actually fairly anatomically correct. So the entire outsole and midsole sculpt right here looks like the bottom of a foot. And that would be great if they didn't have those protruding zoom units, which makes things a little bit wobbly. So what they've done to combat that is that they've made 2 giant outriggers, one at the lateral end, which is traditional. Then they have this additional one right at the midfoot, which is not traditional. I very rarely see anything like this. And it just keeps that area from teetering over, which I think is a good thing. In addition to that, they've completely redone or retooled the midsole itself. So the forefoot area and the heel area wrap up and around your foot. So they cup them in there much nicer than last year's model. Lateral support and instability should be a non-issue with that setup because it's ensuring that your foot is within the footbed and not rolling over it. Now, other than that, there's a couple of basic features that you'll see in almost every shoe. The external heel counter right here, beefy, rubbery, does a great job. Something that you can't see is the embedded V-shaped plate or torsional plate that's right here at the midfoot. Now, all of those coupled with the 4 strap areas ensured that I was locked in at all times. Support felt great to me. I had no issues. So overall, the LeBron Soldier 11, in my opinion, is way better than the Soldier 10. While the traction definitely could use some work, the cushion was definitely better, and this type of shoe is pretty much good for everybody on the floor from positions 1 through 5. You basically got a shoe light enough for a guard, gives you enough court feel, but they also provide a ton of impact protection. So if you're a small guy and you like that, that's great. If you're a big guy and you need that, then it's in there. So the Soldier line has kind of gone from being LeBron's postseason weapon of choice to the LeBron line's version of a hyperdunk, which is like the any man shoe. So the Soldier nowadays is kind of meant for everybody. And then LeBron's signature shoe doesn't always feel like that, especially if you're small like me. And that should pretty much take care of everything. Hopefully this performance review helped you guys out if you were trying to decide whether or not you're going to pick up a pair. I personally like them. I would have liked them just a little bit more had the traction been way more consistent than it was in that one isolated area. If you guys own a pair of these, let me know what you guys think about them on court. Hopefully you enjoy them. I don't like anybody wasting their money. So be sure to leave your thoughts on their performance down below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button as well. It helps me out quite a bit. And until next time, guys, have a good one.